know me, I'm Anil. I've worked with Junaid for the last 3.5 years, and we've spent almost 11 hours a day together. It's actually safe to say I've seen more of Junaid than Abby has over the last couple of years, and I still don't know what she's seen in him. Now, before we get into the ritual character assassination of the groom that forms the basis of every best man's speech, it's tradition for me to thank a few people. So first I'd like to thank Junaid and Abby's parents, who I know have worked tirelessly to make this day possible, so thank you. I'd also like to say a massive thank you to the bridesmaids. I'm sure you'll all agree they've done a fabulous job and all fantastic. And Abby, I can't imagine any bride has ever looked more beautiful than you do today. Junaid, I think the entire room will agree you, my friend, are punching well above your weight. I'd also like to say how good Junaid looks, but I'm not one to lie, so I won't. And finally, on behalf of the whole wedding party, I'd like to thank Junaid and Abby for asking us to be all involved in one of the most important days of their life so far, so thank you.
Thank you.
I know they've put a huge amount of effort in the planning of this wedding, especially Abby, and I can only hope that apart from this speech, everything else will have exceeded your expectations. Truthfully, I had a bit of trouble writing this speech, not because Junaid hasn't done anything embarrassing, no, don't get me wrong. It's because, unfortunately, about 90% of it is unfit for public consumption. So when I was trying to get the theme of my speech, some topics to talk about, I asked a few of his friends to describe Junaid, give me a few words as best they could. And I was expecting witty, generous, smart. Didn't get any of those. Instead, I got arrogant, vain, childish, and annoying. Now, personally, I think that's a bit harsh, but I suppose if anyone knows him, it's his mum. Sorry, Mum. Now, I've managed to source a few of Junaid's old school reports, and I've got a few snippets here that I'd like to share. Here's one from nursery. So his teacher said, Junaid was different from all the other 5-year-olds. He was 11. At age 14, Junaid was an ideal pupil who excelled at all subjects. Oh no, I've read that wrong, sorry. Idle pupil who Now, something that I can comment on is what he's like at work, having worked with him and managed him. And my belief is that Junaid is like working with God. Now bear with me. That's because he's rarely ever seen. He's holier than thou. And if he does any work, it's a bloody miracle. Moving on to the blushing bride. I actually remember meeting Abby for the first time. And my first impression was of a smart, kind, and thoughtful person. That was all ruined when she decided to marry Jake. Now, I've heard a few people today liken Junaid and Abby to a Disney romance. Personally, I've never seen Beauty and the Beast. Instead of closing off with the traditional upper hand gag, I thought I'd offer you both some sound advice. Abby, I'll start with you. Now, I've been told that a husband is like a tiled floor. If you're late right the first time, you can walk all over it for years. I'm really sorry. Junaid, the best way to remember your anniversary is to forget it once. I've missed a page, I've got a page missing. 1 minute, there's a good one here. So here we go. So unfortunately, I don't have the luxury of falling back on childhood stories. So I've asked a few of his friends what Junaid was like at school. You know, how did he do with the ladies? What was he like at sports? Aside from being told that he thought he was the next Sachin Tendulkar, they told me about his athletic prowess on the football pitch. And from what I understand, he loved football, but it was pretty crap in almost every single position. Hopefully you'll have better luck tonight, Abby. In all seriousness, I think you guys make an awesome couple. And to me, marriage isn't about finding someone you can live with. It's about finding someone you can't live without. I think I'm going to cry. Abby, Jay, I love you both so much, and I wish you a lifetime of happiness. So, ladies and gents, for the last time today, please would you be upstanding.